I've been actually requested to do a empathy and compassion talk. We ran a retreat at our clinic in Baldwin on the weekend, and I was talking to them about the difference between empathy and compassion. I was also talking to them about the difference between an emotional empath. We see them all the time in society, the empaths that are really caring, really put themselves out there. They'll be there offering support, a lot of emotional support. They'll often also be doing things to provide support for people. Really beautiful, empathetic, lovely members of the community. We also have energetic empaths. And I notice them when I'm treating people, when they're talking to me about how much they care about people and how a lot of them will actually be carers. They'll be caring for a loved one, or they might even be carers in their job. And when they're talking about how they care for people, I can get a sense that they're so connected to the people they care for. It's almost like the two bodies are connected. And so I will do a technique there, or like a visualization technique with that patient, where I will ask them to feel their own personal space, feel their own body, feel their own skin, feel what's going on within their body, and then feel outside of their body. And then think about the person that they care a lot for, and feel how things just flood between, or how they lose the space between. So it's good to have an awareness of your skin and your physical person, body, and then have an aware of what's outside of you, the space outside of you, between you and others. We share that space with others. There's someone standing near you who has to be aware of their skin and what's going on in their body, and then they're sharing the space between you and them. And what do we do with that space between? So it's really good to know what we're doing with that space between. We can leave that space between, we can leave that alone. We can just come into our own personal person inside our skin. We can be there if we need. We can extend ourselves out. We can extend ourselves out into the space around us for many reasons. We can do that if we're struggling inside and we're seeking support. We can kind of just let our body go out a little bit more, out, to get a sense of feeling who is there, because not everybody feels the same. Some people feel really easy to be around, and some people feel a little bit difficult to be around. So if you have that awareness of that personal space that you have, the personal space that someone else has, and the shared space that we have, you have a little bit more awareness then about how to look after yourself and how to interact within that space between the two people. If you've got someone standing in front of you who feels a bit harsh and a bit loud, and maybe their body language isn't very friendly, you can actually think, I'm just going to leave them their personal space, and I'm going to have my personal space. And I might even have my own physical space. Just be like, I'm going to be in my feet. My feet are touching the ground. I'm in my pelvis. I'm in my chest. I'm in my head. I'm in my hands. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to try really, really hard, because sometimes this is something you actually have to try to do, because it's not something we all do naturally. It's not something we're taught as kids. I would say that with one of my kids when she was a little baby, and I'd take her to a cafe, have her sitting on my neck, and she'd be so interested in everyone in the cafe, just looking around, wanting to connect, beautifully open little baby, feeling safe enough with me that she can connect to the outer world. She doesn't have to cling to me. But I would just say to her, even though she was a baby and I was an adult, I'd say, it's not yours. You don't have to do this. It's not yours. You can do it. You don't have to do it. It's not yours. I would notice when she'd get so connected to somebody, and I'd think, wow, what is that? What is that connection? And I'd just say, it's not yours. It's okay. So the group of beautiful people I worked with on the weekend at our retreat, I ran them through a meditation on empathy, or a visualization that I do around empathy. While I'm talking about this, I might close my eyes down because I need to visualize it. So if I close my eyes down, that's what I'm doing. I encourage you to close your eyes down. And in fact, I think as weird as it is, I will close my eyes down so that I can visualize what I'm talking about and I'm not distracted, because when you Zoom, when you're recording yourself, you see yourself on the camera and it can get in the way. So I'm going to close my eyes down. I'm going to take a couple of beautiful big breaths. I'm going to breathe in. And I'm imagining, and I filled up my chest a little bit here. My shoulders have moved around a little bit with that breath. And I'm going to breathe it out to my feet. I'm really going to ground. I'm going to do one more of those. So I'm going to filling up my chest. I'm having a little stretch. Just filling up my chest just felt like I could stretch a little more. And then I'm going to breathe it down to my feet. And this is the visualization around empathy. So we're going to visualize that we're standing on the most beautiful green paddock. There's beautiful green grass. You might have your shoes on, you might have your shoes off. You'll be feeling the earth and the grass under your feet, and it's just the perfect temperature. You know, sometimes you can put your feet on grass and it's just a little bit cold, and sometimes you can put your feet on sand and it's a little bit hot. But this beautiful earth, beautiful grassy, earthy paddock that we're standing in is just the perfect temperature for your feet. Your feet love it. You can feel the sun on your back. There's a gentle breeze. The sky's pretty blue. There might be just the perfect amount of cloud, just something. It's a pretty perfect day. There might be some vegetation around. If you look around the paddock, there just might be some trees, and might be a little crop of flowers over there somewhere. You might see some mountains in the distance. You might see a structure like a house or a building or something like that. So we'll just spend some time just looking around our visual environment that we've created there. Just coming back to your feet. The feet are on the earth, on the ground, on that beautiful grassy, paddocky surface. And we're just going to start strolling along. We're just strolling along, walking along through the paddock. It's a beautiful day. There's a little bit of a path that's been worn in the grass. This is a well-travelled paddock. And then we come across something that's like a mine shaft. Like, oh, that's interesting. There's like a mine shaft in this paddock. And we look down and there's someone down there in the mine shaft. And they say, hey, help, I'm down here in this mine shaft. And we say, oh, hello, how are you? Oh, gosh, can I help you? And they say, I'm stuck in this mine shaft. And you'll look down, and this is what people do. People just spiral down and they get stuck down in these mine shafts of despair or depression or trauma or whatever else, and they get stuck down there and they're like, come and get me, come and help me, I need help, someone help me. Well, I get to the mine shaft and I'm having a beautiful day in this beautiful paddock and I'm going for a lovely walk and I'm not feeling like climbing down into the mine shaft with this person. In my work, there are a couple of people that I would climb down the mine shaft for. Some of them are extremely unwell people, and the other are new babies with new mums. I'll be down there with them, but I know that I'm doing it. So there's certain people that I'll get to the mine shaft, I'll remember, oh, it's such a beautiful day, and I really planned a lovely walk, and gosh, now I've got someone down a mine shaft asking for help, and I might make a really discerning decision, and I might jump down for certain people, but it's rare. Otherwise, I think, might just sit on the grass. I can dangle my feet down the mine shaft. They're talking to me, so they're okay. And I look down and I see a ladder, and I think, oh gosh, hey, you down there, did you know that there's a ladder? And they say, yeah, I can see the ladder. Oh, would you like to climb out? No, I don't have the energy to climb out. Oh, okay. So somehow I might have to go and get some food or something, and it's a drink. Or do you need a drink? I do have a water bottle with me. I've gone for a walk, so I can get the water bottle down to them if they need it. So I do that. I send them down the water bottle. I happened to be quite prepared on this walk. I had a bag with me, so got my water bottle, and for some reason, well, I've got my phone, and I'm like looking and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So I'm going to shine my torchlight down into the mine shaft, and And I can see them down there and they're sitting down there and they've been there a while. And I said, would you like to come up now? Would you like to climb up the ladder? Or I could go and get a rope and I could throw it down to you if you like. And they say, oh, no, I don't really know that I can come up yet. Okay. And I said, okay, that's all right. Well, I'm here. I'm here if you need. I'm here if you need. And, what I can see is that I'm in the sun and they're in the dark. And there'll be a certain time of day, I think, if they wait long enough, the sun might hit the mine shaft. They might just get some more light down there. It might feel a little bit better. I've done what I can. I've done what I can. If they choose to use the ladder, or I can get a rope, or I can go for help, I can do all kinds of things. But the one thing is, I'm not going down into that mine shaft with them. So I'm going to open my eyes again. I'm going to get you to take a few breaths. I feel quite calm after having done that visualization. We're just going to check back in with our feet, make sure we're grounded. When you're ready to come back into your room from the beautiful field that you're in, I just want you to have a little think. You might journal after this, or you feel free to get in touch with me anytime that you like. You can do that through my Atrium Osteopathic business. You can do it by replying or commenting on my YouTubes. That this is obviously a YouTube, and we have Atrium Osteopathy Facebook as well. So we have a website which is osteopathmelbourne.net as well. So I hope that hit home for you. Thank you for the beautiful people who requested it. This is for you, and stay well.